All right, let me talk about this real quick, okay? Why men have a rational fear of marriage. Do I think marriage is a bad thing? Absolutely not. I support marriage, love marriage. Marriage is one of the staples that hold communities together. But men, modern men, have a rational fear of marriage. And it's because how marriage today is seen and how loosely people hold marriage. Men don't want to get married and risk a divorce, okay? Let's take a look at Anthony Anderson and his wife's situation. She files for divorce after being married 22 years. A couple of years ago, she filed for divorce and stopped the divorce right after he got this role as Dre, shout out to Dre, dope name, in Blackish. And now, after the show's had its run, she files for divorce again. Could be just simply coincidental. It could be planned. I'm not here to speculate on that, okay? Conspiracy theories, let everybody else. But it does show why a lot of men, a lot of successful men, fear marriage. Which is also why, and I'll get some heat from some of my Christian friends, I can't hate on prenuptial agreements. I can't hate on it, okay? Because I know what's in my heart, and my intentions is to be married forever, right? And I want to believe in my wife's heart, or vice versa. A wife who is successful can have a husband or get married to a husband, and her heart's in the right place, but his may not be, right? And what if it's not? There's zero protection, right? Not a safeguard, just in case, just protection, right? We can agree to disagree. We could disagree, whatever. But the situation is, you, anybody, man or woman, but for the sake of this conversation, I'll say a wife. A wife could be married to her husband for 22 years. He could be the breadwinner. He could be the financial provider. He could be the support in the home. But when she gets older and she wants out of that marriage, right? It could be a no-fault divorce. She can cite irreconcilable differences. She wants out of that marriage, right? He gives her, you know what? Go ahead. If you want a divorce, get a divorce. But then she's like, in the divorce proceedings, yeah, I want to leave you. You haven't really done anything wrong. I just don't want to be married to you anymore. But you still got to provide for me for the rest of my life. There is no justice at all in a wife wanting to leave her husband and still expect him to pay for her lifestyle. There's no justice at all. That is one of the most sinful things that could possibly ever be in the justice system. It's complete imbalance. You want out of the marriage, right? He's been providing for you, been a husband providing for you. You want out of the marriage, and you still want him to pay for your lifestyle? Then why do you want out of the marriage? Because you want your freedom while still having him finance your freedom. You know, it makes no sense. Listen, I'm not a supporter of divorce, even though I'm a divorcee, right? I'm not a supporter of divorce, right? So it's the absolute last resort, as long as it's done biblically, right? But if you want out of the marriage and you want him to keep paying you alimony because you want to cite irreconcilable differences, there was no infidelity on his part, you just want out of the marriage, no fault the marriage, the divorce, and you want him to pay for you still, that says more about you as an individual. It shows how ugly your character is. It really does. You want out of the marriage, but still want him to pay for you? And then you wonder why modern men are afraid to get married, specifically African-American males. Why they're afraid to get married. Why successful males are afraid to get married. They don't want to get got. And not all women, but some modern women have this mentality that women should be able to get what they get. And there's not a lot of women out there holding you other women accountable. No, you shouldn't be treating your husbands like that. If you want out of the marriage, get out of the marriage. But as you want to be free, he should be free also. You want to be free from being his wife? Then he should be free from being your husband and providing for you. You guys want your cake and you want to eat it too. It's imbalance. It's ugly. It's sinful. It's greed. God does not delight in that at all. And if you are a woman in the church and you operate this way, if you claim to love Jesus and you're saved and you operate this way, I'm going to question your salvation. As judgmental as it may sound, all right? You got good men out there working hard, providing for you, right? You want out of the marriage, citing stupid things like no-fault divorce or irreconcilable differences, and then want him to pay for you for the rest of your life or until you get married again, whatever laws that establish that in your state. Like, that's what you want? It's ugly. It's disgusting. It's sinful. Okay? First off, divorce is horrible in itself. A lot of nothing really good comes out of divorce unless you're in an abusive situation. But if you are a woman and you just want to be happy and live your life free, but then expect him to keep paying you alimony, it says a whole lot about your sinful nature and your ugly character than anything else. I'm praying for Anthony Anderson and his wife. My first thing is always to pray for reconciliation, so I'm praying that they can fix this situation. I'm not sure what it is, and I'm not here to talk about this situation. But I will say this to you women out there watching, and men, you too. If you want out of a marriage, there's no infidelity, there's no abuse, you just want to be free and happy, do you. Get a divorce. But don't expect that man to pay you alimony, especially if you want out. And if you happen to be somebody, a policymaker or a lawmaker in your state, and you allow that law to happen, and you're a judge and you enforce that law, where a woman who wants out of a marriage, right, because of no fault of anybody's, because there's irreconcilable differences, and she wants out of the marriage, and you grant her alimony, forcing him to still to meet the requirements of a husband and a provider, you're wrong too. And that's all I got to say about that. Peace.